And this is a 4 to 6 minute speech. Pendorf Elementary School, just outside of Laurel, Mississippi, in 1966. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. This was a year, or actually it was rather half a year, that had quite a bit of impact on me as a person and as a speaker, as it turns out to be. In January of 1966, my family and I made our penultimate move, one of about 40 that we did since my dad worked in oil fields, to Laurel, Mississippi. And we lived in our small trailer house just outside of Pendorf Elementary School, walked to school every day. What a neat place to be. There was a huge trailer park, lots of mischief that you could get into, including these huge swimming pools that had been drained God knows how many years earlier, and perfect places for kids to jump in, play in, and try to break their legs. Our school was very small. Actually, it literally had only 6 classrooms, 1st grade through 6th grade. I was in 6th grade. We were the big kids. And it was a lot of fun meeting these people because I'd just come from East Texas, coming around all over the South, and now I'm going to deep South Mississippi, and their accents, everything's a little bit different, but I still picked up on it really quickly. Our teacher, I can't remember her name, so I'm going to call her Mrs. Smith, but Mrs. Smith had quite a profound effect on me over the years. First off, Mrs. Smith and I were the only Presbyterians in that school. Everyone else was Baptist. So she naturally said, "Ooh, I'm going to take care of you." And I'm the new kid in town, so that sets you up to get beat up a lot in fights. The teacher loves you. Horrible situations. Our teacher, this was definitely not politically correct at the time because she believed in every day there should be a Bible story presented by one of the students. My day was coming up pretty soon, and I knew what I was going to talk about. I was going to tell the story of Noah's Ark. However, I really did honestly get sick before my time to go to class. When I did come back to class, the teacher asked me, "Tim, are you ready to give your speech?" And before I could say a word, some smart kid in the back of the room said, "Tim said he hates Bible stories. That's why he didn't go to school yesterday."
No.
Well, actually, it turned out to make me a hero because Mrs. Smith got so mad, she said, "Well, Tim, if you feel like that, then none of y'all are going to give Bible stories anymore." An inadvertent miracle. I did like speaking in class, not being the class clown or anything like that, but just actually speaking. And as the rest of the year went on, Mrs. Smith would get me to come forward in the class and talk 1 or 2 minutes, do things like that, where the other kids were deathly afraid of trying that. Mrs. Smith was not the nicest person in the world. She was very racist, and at the time it was a school that was in the last year of segregation, and she was adamantly against that. Really broke my heart to think that she had that kind of view, and she espoused it throughout the year. But one thing that she did do that made me feel pretty good and has had a lasting effect on me was, she said, "At commencement, we need somebody to lead the school in prayer. Who'd like to do that?" And I felt like one of the Three Stooges movies where everybody's standing and everyone walks backwards and pours sap in the front. Sap. But I did get up on stage in front of the school, which was probably about 150 students total, gave the prayer. It turned out quite well, and that was my inaugural speech before an audience, and I was hooked after that. We moved shortly at the end, after that to McKinney, Texas, where I spent the rest of my time. But that 6 months in Laurel, Mississippi in 1966, I could never have imagined how it would have affected my life. And it really has. It's made quite a dramatic change, good, bad, and all the way around. And it's kept a lot of therapists very wealthy.